Hello there, fellow Star Wars nerds, and welcome to Unlimited Content, the podcast where two brothers talk about all of Star Wars film and TV in chronological order on the internet as an excuse to hang out more. We're your hosts, Sam and Jack, and this week we're talking about The Clone Wars Season 2, Episodes 9 and 10, Grievous, Intrigue, and The Deserter. Sam, these are some good episodes this week that we've got going.
Dude, these are... I say this a lot, but these are some of my favorite episodes of The Clone Wars.
I feel like just all of Clone Wars are some of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, The Clone Wars is some of my favorite episodes of The Clone Wars. Tell you what. Except when they have the fake Jar Jar episodes. We don't.
Yeah.
We shall not speak of those.
Yeah, hashtag not my Jar Jar.
Jack, how are you? It's been a minute. What's going on?
It's been a couple weeks since we recorded. I'm doing pretty good. Wishing it was a little cooler here in Texas. It's not too bad today. Like, it got down to, it was like in the 60s all day, which was nice.
Ooh,
but
nice.
Like, there was a while for the past week where it was like kind of in the 80s. And I'm like, it's November. I want it to be in the 50s. You know, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, today was, I mean, it was nice in terms of like the way that I like the weather to be, which is that it was cool and overcast, which is kind of my like, it's calm, it's chill, and it's nice. And it was raining, but it was very misty rain today.
Dude, did we have the same weather today? Because that's how Kansas City was today.
Whoa. Are you in Austin right now, secretly?
Yes. No, I'm not.
What?
I wish. That'd be fun.
Dang.
Or are you in Kansas City right now?
One of these days, maybe next year we'll do like you can visit Austin one time and I'll visit Kansas City one time. We'll record episodes.
I would like that much.
Our respective cities.
Yes, that'd be fun.
Yeah. Thanksgiving's coming up.
It is.
Which is cool. Which actually ties into this week's sponsor. Because
dang it, I was already... The wheels are turning. How can I transition? But you beat me to it every time.
Yeah, we got to get to the bills, Sam. We don't have time to come up with fancy transitions. We just got to talk about it. Because we'll go bankrupt mid-sentence if we don't...
Oh, no, we have no money. Jack starts. Who's the sponsor? Who is it? We have no monies.
We have no monies.
We have no monies. I don't know why I turned Italian, but I did.
Woohoo! Okay. This week's episode of Unlimited Content is brought to you by reusable food containers, which I just like. They've been on my mind lately because I was like, I used to use Ziploc bags for a lot of things, and then I had realized, wait, they make like reusable, like washable Ziploc bags now. So I got some of those. Yeah. It's like I don't have to pollute the environment with more garbage. And
that's true.
Yeah.
Although in my experience, the reusable, because Sarah and I did the reusable like Ziplocs, they stunk. They're like shrink in the water. Yeah, hand wash them because they shrink in the dishwasher.
Interesting. Yeah, I feel like they say that they're like top rack dishwasher safe, but it's like it doesn't get them clean very well because of just like the way they're shaped, because they're like flat bags and it's
yeah. But just use a sponge or a brush or something to get that.
Yeah. So that and just like I don't know. It's one of those things that I've come to appreciate more after having lived on my own for a while in my own place and been like, it's one of those like things that like you don't care about as a kid, but once you're an adult with your own like things and your own space, it's like, oh, this is actually really nice. Like little quality of life things like that. And like when I first moved into this apartment in Austin, I one of the first things I got when I got here is I went to H-E-B and I got this like basically a box set of a bunch of reusable like plastic containers that are
nice.
Like they're like they have like latches on them so they seal really tight, but they're also microwave safe, and it's like it's excellent. Just
those are nice.
They've been very versatile and good.
Yeah. When I first moved into my own place by myself, by my lonesome, I got a similar thing, but the IKEA version, not as fancy with it didn't have the clippies, but it was IKEA. It was cheap.
Rad.
But yeah,
IKEA's also
nice.
a good place to go to for like general home goods and things. You can get quality stuff there that's like pretty cheap, which is nice.
Oh yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Well, thank you to our sponsor, reusable food containers. The concept of reusable food containers, not in any particular brand, for sponsoring this episode.
Yes, except unless the HEB brand wants to sponsor us, then HEB brand.
Listen, if HEB wants to sponsor us, I will take all of HEB's money. I don't mind.
Please.
Yeah,
we like HEB here. I wish they had HEB up here. It'd be nice.
I think they just opened like the first HEB up in North Texas recently. Like there's one.
Yeah, there's one in like Frisco. Yeah, I think it's Frisco, and then Fort Worth's had them for a while, but Dallas is not.
Cool. Well, But yeah, so this upcoming week is going to be Thanksgiving week. So what are your plans? What's going to be Thanksgiving times for you?
Dude, me and Sarah and Marion are just going to be hanging out, the three of us. We're going to have our own Thanksgiving by ourselves.
Oh, nice.
And we are excited about it. Just
Yay.
a quiet, like we're going to, because Marion, she's almost 3, which is the perfect age for the Macy's Day Parade. So we're very excited about the Macy's Day Parade. And all of the, because she knows like most of the cartoon characters that like are going to be the balloons in the parade and all that. So we're very excited just to watch her watch that. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to have, we got a turkey. We're going to have some sides. And it's going to be yummy. Very excited. The Cowboys will play, so we'll watch that. Nice. But yeah, and then in Sarah's family of origin, her parents and siblings, they on Thanksgiving usually is when they start decorating for Christmas. Mm-hmm. So we think that's when we're gonna like put up the tree, and I'm gonna force everyone to listen to John Denver and the Muppets on vinyl because we have it now.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. I'm so glad you pointed out that it was on vinyl and like available on Amazon to purchase because it had never been before.
Did we talk about that last time at all?
I think we did.
Like, okay.
I think we talked about you getting it and me like being baffled that it could be gotten. And then in the interim, I got it.
Yes.
So yes,
all is right with the world.
Yep, all is right. And then we just plan on having a lazy weekend after that. Like that's
nice.
Yeah,
and your birthday's coming up not soon after that.
My birthday is coming up. Yeah, so my birthday is the Monday after Thanksgiving this year. And I'm taking that day off. So I'm going to be off from, like, Wednesday at noon until the following Tuesday when I have to go back into work. Nice. So I'm excited for it. It'll be my first, like, long amount of time off in at least, like, 6 months.
Cool.
I'm very excited to have
That's rad.
A good break.
I have a bunch of, like, PTO that I need to use up before the end of the year. So I've just been, like, taking off, like, every Wednesday, basically.
Nice.
Because, like, the way that things are scheduled, that Wednesday is the one day of the week when we have 3 editors on shift at once, and we really only need 2. But it just works out that way because everybody needs 40 hours, and just like
yeah.
But Wednesday ends up being the easiest day to take off usually because you don't have to get anybody to cover for you or anything.
Yeah, it puts the least amount of stress on the team and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so I've just been like taking a bunch of Wednesdays off.
Yeah,
so
and news doesn't happen on Wednesday anyway, so.
Yeah, Wednesdays is the day when the world stops, and
Yep.
There's no
news. Everyone just takes a deep breath, and they save all the good and bad things for Thursday.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, so your Thanksgiving sounds like it's going to be fun. I'm excited for you guys.
Yeah. Are you going up with Mom and Dad's for any time during the Thanksgiving times?
So, basically, we're going to be celebrating Thanksgiving on Wednesday. Because I have the day off on Wednesday, but I have to work on Thanksgiving. And so what's going to happen is Gracie and I are going to go to the airport Wednesday morning, fly up there, and then on Thursday morning, I'm flying back down to Austin and then go to work.
So fast.
Yeah, but it'll be good to have most of the immediate family in one place because it's been a while since I've been able to like celebrate Thanksgiving with family, just because like the past couple of years I've been busy with other things and with work and whatnot, and we got it worked out finally, and yes, that'll be fun.
That's good.
Excited about that.
I'm sure we'll FaceTime in for a little bit of that.
Yeah,
on that Wednesday because I will be off that day. So
nice.
I'll be able to do that. But yeah, that sounds awesome, dude. That would be fun.
Yeah. Not looking forward to going to the airport on the day before Thanksgiving, but
yeah. How early is your flight that morning?
I mean, the flight is at 11 a.m., but like
you're probably getting there like 8:30 or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
it's got to be like, especially because it's Thanksgiving, or the day before Thanksgiving, which I think is like the busiest day of the.
I think so.
The busiest travel day of the year, usually.
I think day before and day after, usually. Mm-hmm. I think, and December 23rd is usually pretty nuts, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yep. So, not necessarily looking forward to that, but looking forward to being able to go to visit family and also to not have to drive on I-35. So.
Dude, yeah, traffic on Thanksgiving through Central Texas would also be awful.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be a quick flight too, like Dallas to or Austin to Dallas
or something.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you spend more time getting to and from the airport and like checking in and everything than you do on the flight.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, still trying to figure out don't exactly know like what the Christmas plans are. I know we're doing like a Christmas party on the 27th at the Ford House, and I'm going to be there for that. But I'm not 100% sure I'm getting there yet. I'm thinking about maybe taking Amtrak up there to have a nice leisurely train ride, so I can go up there without having to drive on I-35 because I don't enjoy driving for long periods of time, and also just because I've never ridden like long distance on a proper train before, and it just seems like it'd be fun. So and it's a lot cheaper than a flight. So
I think the longest I've ever done on like a train, but something that's technical. No, just kidding. I was in Europe. I did a lot of
I was going to say, you've done Europe things. Yeah,
I forgot about Europe. Europe doesn't count. I think like the longest I've ever done non-European travel on a train is like the Dart. Like from mom and dad's house to downtown.
Same, honestly.
Or no, maybe the Tarantula from Grapevine to Fort Worth. Remember that?
I've done that one. I'm aware of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. I feel like, I don't know. I think we did it when like you were like little. So I think you technically have, but you weren't conscious yet.
I wasn't lucid.
Yeah,
I didn't yet have object permanence.
No, which is why you don't remember the train. Silly.
It was there and then it was gone. I don't understand.
I don't get it. Yeah, this peekaboo game freaks me out. I don't get it. Quit going away.
What is happening?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
Dude, Amtrak sounds fun. Sarah and I have been talking about wanting to do like a trip on Amtrak. Like, go somewhere, like, and make the Amtrak part of the trip experience itself. Like, see if we can get like a nicer, like
a cabin.
Seat, like a cabin kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like, do it, like, go west somewhere where like it's very, very scenic, that kind of thing. So we'd love to. Yeah,
I know there's like a Pacific Coast Highway. I think kind of like train route. I think I would love to do that, to like take a train up like California and like Oregon, and just like see the sights there and make a few stops along the way. And that'd be fun.
That'd be awesome. I think what started the conversation the other day, I don't know how it came into my brain, but like me and Sarah, we were playing this like conversation game. It's like a card game, like just you ask each other questions kind of back and forth, just like conversation starter kind of things. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. But like one of them was like, where do you see yourself in 50 years? Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh dang, I'll be like 80. So I'll be long retired. It's like, well, I'm thinking by the time I turn 80, it's probably, Sarah and I've always talked about wanting to have an RV, but by the time I'm 80, we'll have like be hanging up the keys to the RV and won't be able to RV anymore. So like, we'll just train around the country to like national parks and stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Rad.
So that'd be
awesome.
That'd be,
Yeah. Hopefully in 50 years, America will have a much better train system. Better public transit, better, less highways and car things.
Yeah. I mean, with as active, like, politically as like millennials and Gen Z are, I'm confident it's gonna be like we'll have something. Yeah, I'm pretty confident. I'm optimistic.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yes.
But yeah, Sam, what have you been up to in the last couple weeks?
Oh gosh, what have I been up to? The weather's been nicer, and so Sarah and I are starting to go on like a weekly picnic date, which has been really nice. I have a story. So we've done this 2 weeks in a row now. And last week was the first week we did it. This week was the second week. That's how weeks work. But
numbers.
We went to Shawnee Mission Park, which is like this huge, like county park in Johnson County, Kansas. And it's like, it's the, like, I think the most visited park in Kansas. It's huge and it's really pretty. And it's like, it used to be like this like big old like farm, like in these like rolling hills, and like there's a lake and there's a dog park and there's a lot of bike trails. Like whenever I ride my bike, I usually ride through Shawnee Mission Park because there's like 30 plus miles of like paved bike trails that I just like love to like just turn my brain off and ride. But we went up this hiking trail and we had a picnic. We like a blanket and a bottle of wine and just like sat and chatted for like hours. It was great. But at one point, it's like we the reason we picked the spot is because it was nice and secluded, and we like wanted to like have some privacy. But like as we like walked out there, we passed like these hay rides that like it looked like they were packing everything up and like getting ready to like shut down for the day. So like, okay, cool, we're not gonna get bothered by hay rides. So we like walked out, took a left, and like went down this kind of like grassy trail, not like the gravel trail that we walked down, but this grassy trail is like mowed, and there's like a lot of like loose rocks and like roots and stuff, and it's where this old house used to be, like the old farmhouse that like the farm of Shining Park was. We went out there, and we were there for like, we've been there for like 2-3 hours, and we had finished the bottle of wine, and we were just kind of chilling, hanging out, watching the sunset, and we hear the hay rides come along. We're like, dang, are they coming this way? Like, do we need to pack everything up? Because we're like in the middle of the trail. Like our blanket is just across the trail. It's just like a grassy clearing, but like 10 feet wide and a trail. But like they're not gonna drive the hay rides out here. So like I run up the trail a little bit just to see if they're coming, and they were not coming down the trail. And so I threw my arms in there, like they're not coming. And I run back towards Sarah, and like I like roll my ankle really bad.
No.
Yeah, and like
this
is like this was like 8 days ago, and I still like my foot still hurts like really bad.
Are you still in the boot?
Yeah,
I saw you in the picture. No.
Yeah, I was wearing a boot. Now I just wrap it because the boot is not helping. I think my foot's getting better slowly. I think I like just pulled something really bad. But yeah, so anyway, that happened. I rolled my ankle really bad, but it was a lot of fun. And then
can I tell you the story of? You know the story about how I rolled my ankle in high school?
Yeah. Well, did you like tear something in your ankle or something? It was, like,
so
bad.
yeah, I like sprained my ankle and tore a ligament.
Yeah. It's good. Yeah, it's a good story.
It's not a good story. It's a pitiful story.
It makes me laugh. I think it's a good story.
The story is that
you can laugh about it now. It wasn't good back then, but you can laugh about it now.
Yeah, no, I'm laughing at how pitiful it is.
Yeah.
The story is that I was like sitting like in front of the lockers in one of the hallways just during high school. It was maybe my sophomore or junior year. And like I don't know, I was just like on my computer or whatever, and my foot had fallen asleep like completely.
Yeah.
And then the fire alarm starts going off. And it was just for a drill, but I was like, oh, I need to get up and go. Like, what if this isn't a drill? Because I didn't know immediately. So I got up, started walking, and I was like, I know my foot's asleep, but I could probably just, I can probably walk on it. Immediately roll it incredibly badly. All my weight goes onto it, and like immediately my foot wakes up completely. And I'm like, oh no, this is not good. And I collapse to the ground and just kind of sit there like tearing up, and like as other people are like walking by, and like a couple people stop and are like, oh, are you okay? I'm like, they're like, what happened? And I'm like, I tried to walk and then I broke myself. It was not fun.
Yeah. No, when that happened, because was I in college at that point when that happened, or was I still?
I think so.
Okay, yeah,
because I don't think that was my freshman year. That was the only time we were in high school at the same time. Right.
Because I remember hearing that story, and like my initial reaction was like, "Oh my gosh, is Jack okay?" But my like 2 seconds after that reaction, after I knew you were fine, was that's hilarious, and I just died laughing. Like, great. Is he okay? He's fine. He's fine. Okay, then I can laugh. Cool. He's not crippled forever, so it's funny.
No, it was extremely painful though.
Oh, I'm sure.
It was bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're okay now. We can both walk. Well, one of us can walk. I can hobble still. It's my turn.
Hobbling is a form of walking.
It is technically walking. Not very successful walking, but technically walking. But yeah, so nature. That's what I've been up to lately. Nature and... Oh, that's it. Yeah. Life nature. Outside of that has been really busy because I work for the church. I do youth ministry. Confirmation season is like steadily approaching. So I have so much to do at work. No free time to like think or breathe.
Yeah.
So the like my one day off of like I have time to like I'm not like doing chores around the house or working is the day I take Sarah on a date. We like go grocery shopping, drop Marion off, and then we go to the park. So that's been my life for the last few weeks. It's been that kind of
that's good that you still get you're still setting aside time to take time for yourself and to spend time with your wife. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of like realized as I was kind of getting, because this semester is like one of my busier semesters I've ever had at like working at the church, and I'm just realizing like I used to just be able to like kind of count on like we can just spur the moment decide like yeah let's just go on and do it right now, that'd be great, or like because like we didn't need too much planning, but now with our lives getting so much busier and Sarah's working full time too, like we have to like Saturday's the day that we have to have. Like, if we're going to have any day this week, it's like, it's Saturday. Yeah. So, it's been good.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. What about you, dude? What have you been up to?
Let's see. Not a ton of, like, eventful stuff, just, sort of more working, figuring out travel plans for the rest of the year and figuring out, like, when am I going to use my PTO and all that. Let's see. One thing that happened today is it's a sad story with a happy ending, which is that my VR headset died.
No.
Yeah, so it had been like my Oculus Quest 1 is what I've been using for a while to like the 99% of the time that I spend in VR I spend playing Beat Saber for my workouts. And so it's my workout machine basically.
Yeah, which that Beat Saber's tough. Like I think it's a workout. There's a lot of cardio. It's intense, man. Especially when you get like
very cardio mode. Intensive. Yeah. But I love it. It's the one like exercise routine that I've found in my life that I've been able to consistently like go back to and enjoy, and it doesn't stress me out. And I'm like, no, this is fun, and I can like zone out to the music, and it's a game, and it's it engages all of my enough parts of my brain that I don't have room to get anxious about it being a workout.
That's awesome. That's perfect.
Yeah, but so yeah, I've been playing on this on my Oculus Quest 1 for a while, which I got it refurbished when I first got it, and I've been using it for a couple years now, and maybe a month or two ago, one of the screens started kind of glitching out, and it was like it was still usable, but it looked kind of weird, and I was like, this is gonna die pretty soon, I think. And then like yesterday, the screen just wouldn't turn on anymore. Like the device turns on, and I can hear audio and everything, but it was no longer usable. But on the bright side, a couple things happened. One is that because today is the Sunday before Thanksgiving, all the Black Friday sales have started.
Ooh.
Yeah. Number two is that the Quest 3 came out recently, which means that the Quest 2 got a price drop.
Nice.
And then number 3 is that I just got my end of year bonus. And so that combination of things, I was able to go, I went to Target and picked up an Oculus Quest 2, or a Meta Quest 2, because that's what they call it now.
Come on, Zach.
Yeah, it's dumb. Oculus is such a better name than Meta.
It is.
Yeah. Anyway.
But the metaverse, Jack. The metaverse.
The metaverse. It's going to be the future of something, probably.
Yeah. The future of the garbage. Come on.
The future of the garbage. Incredible jokes.
That's why people come back to unlimited content, is my high quality, well thought out, and well executed jokes.
Yes, it's for the clever humor. It's it's the thinking. It's a thinking man's podcast.
Yeah, nothing but witticism here.
Yeah, but yeah. So I was like, I went to Target because they had it for like it's usually $300, but they had it for $50 off, and also it came with a $50 gift card. So I basically got it for $100 off, and
That's
then another
nice.
5% off because of my like Target Red Card thing, and yeah. So it just and then I paid for it with part of my bonus. So it was like a fortuitous sequence of events as possibly could be in the case of an expensive electronic device breaking. Like yeah. So I got it set up today, and it's very nice. It's it's a big upgrade from the one that I had before. Like the screen is a lot higher resolution and nicer.
Cool.
And it's got a higher refresh rate, which is a pretty big deal, especially in VR. So like the Quest 1 was like a 72 hertz refresh rate, and this one can go up to 120 hertz.
Whoa.
So it's like, yeah, it's just, the more smoothness you have, in any interactive experience, it's going to look better, but especially in VR where it's like, the higher the frame rate it is, the less likely you are to like get motion sickness, basically.
Yeah. The more closer to reality it looks. Yeah.
So yeah, I got that set up today, and I ordered like a different, like a better head strap for it, so that it kind of sits more on top of my head instead of like all being like face front heavy, and that'll come tomorrow. And
Nice.
but yeah, I played a little bit of Beat Saber on it today, and it Beat Saber looks and feels better than it ever has, and I'm very happy.
I love that for you.
Yeah. So that's one thing. Another thing is I finally decided to watch Loki season 2.
Is it good?
Which, I was in our continuing saga of talking about how the MCU is kind of in not a great place right now. I think that the thing that I most recently enjoyed the most was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And I really liked Loki season 1, except for like the last episode where I felt like it really fell off and kind of, it was like, I don't know, it got less interesting to me because they kind of reset the whole story, and also there was it really felt like it was there to set up other things rather than to be a satisfying conclusion on its own.
I felt that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like beyond that, I loved Loki season 1, kind of like how weird it was, and the art direction, and like the mystery of it, and it's just a super cool show, and I love Tom Hiddleston, and and Lightning McQueen himself, Mr. Owen Wilson.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I was like, because it ended kind of on a sour note for me, I wasn't super interested in watching season 2. But then after like the last couple episodes came out, everybody online was saying like, it's really great. It's like one of the best MCU things in a long time. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'll watch this. And sure enough, yeah, I liked it a lot. I thought it was really, really good.
Sweet.
Yeah, it picked up where the last season left off in a I think a really strong way, and it was just lots of super weird creative stuff, beautiful production design as that show has already been done for, amazing looking show, and just a quality experience. I feel like we don't get a lot of those from Marvel these days, but it's that and Guardians 3 are like my favorite of like the most recent like era of the MCU. So definitely recommend that if you're interested. If you liked season 1, definitely.
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch it. I'm kind of just like, I don't know, like me and Sarah did this with Ted Lasso, where Sarah just doesn't want things to end, so we put off watching Ted Lasso season 3 until like way beyond. It was like until everyone was done talking about it and we're watching again. And so I imagine she's having a similar feeling towards Loki season 2. Like she really wants to watch it. She's big Tom Hiddleston fan. Big, like Loki's her favorite Marvel character. Like she wants to watch it, but just like either we've both been busy or it's just not been in the mood or like not ready to like have another thing be done yet.
No, yeah, I get that. Sure.
Yeah, so we have not watched it yet, but it looks really good. What was I gonna say? Oh, some other like potential MCU news that like might get me back interested in the MCU again. Other than Daredevil, they're not Daredevil. Deadpool 3 coming out soon. Yeah. They are starting to maybe announce the Fantastic Four cast.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So
the rumor is that they're trying to get Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, right? Yeah,
that is the rumor. And I also saw another rumor that it's more rumory than the other rumor. So take it with as many grains of salt as you can. But Doctor Doom is going to be played potentially by who was it? Oh, Cillian Murphy.
Ooh, that's a good choice. He would make a good Doom, definitely.
And then another rumor is that Javier Bardem would be Galactus.
What?
Yeah,
that's awesome. They're gonna bring Galactus into the MCU.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So those are things that could get me like actually interested in, because it seems like they're trying to pivot away from Kang after the whole Jonathan Majors thing.
Yeah, which by the way, like Jonathan Majors and Kang are like a major focus of Loki season 2, and I thought they did a good job with it. I thought he did a good job, like, you know, all the stuff about his personal life aside. And but I also thought it ended in a way where like they could say that that's kind of the end of the Kang thing if they wanted to.
Because the writer of the Kang Dynasty Avengers movie backed out of that, so it's I'm thinking they're gonna they're pivoting their future plans away from Kang Dynasty and maybe towards a Doctor Doom being the new big bad of the MCU. Which Doctor Doom probably should, if Fox didn't own X-Men and Fantastic Four, I think. Or does Sony own Fantastic Four? I don't know. Whoever owns Fantastic Four.
I think Fox. I think it's Fox, yeah.
Yeah, because Sony just owns Spider-Man. Yeah. So I think if Marvel had Doctor Doom from the beginning, I bet Doctor Doom would have been a big bad before Thanos.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, just because he plays a bigger role in Marvel Comics, from what I understand, than Thanos ever does.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know enough about Doctor Doom to know how big of a threat he would be, you know, I feel like most of what I know about Doctor Doom is he's like a weird evil guy with a mask, and you know, I don't know enough about like the stories that he's been involved in to know, like, you know, would he pose an Avengers level threat, quote unquote, at some point, which I'm sure he has. I just don't know.
Yeah,
you know?
I know there is one comic run, just because I've seen it pop up on social media and stuff, of Doctor Doom versus Thanos, and Doctor Doom basically in one hit kills Thanos. He punches Thanos in the face, grabs his skull, and rips his skull and spine out in one go.
It's a Mortal Kombat move.
I know. It's oh gosh, this is for kids, you know? Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah,
I'm excited to I'm hopeful that we finally get a great Fantastic Four movie, because we've never really had one.
Sure.
And that this ends up kind of, jump-starting the next era of the MCU and making it kind of feel exciting and relevant again.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they've definitely stumbled a lot since Avengers Endgame and kind of trying to figure out okay, what's our path forward now? And I think they front-loaded too much content. They were just let's put a new TV show or movie out every month, or is what it's felt like.
Yes.
And I think people have gotten kind of Marvel overload from that, and also just the fact that they were all pushed out so quickly, I think meant that some of them were underbaked, and
and also the fact that they think they killed off half of the starting people, or sent them out off to pasture all at the same time. They just nuked the franchise.
Yeah, kind of. We don't have Tony Stark or Captain America, the originals, anymore, and it's those were the core, the hearts of the series. I feel like, the core characters. I'm looking forward to Fantastic Four. I hope it's good. I am looking forward to. I don't know when this is gonna happen, but presumably eventually there will be X-Men stuff. You know.
Yeah. I'm thinking that the only things that's gonna really sit breathe the thing that's gonna have the most chance to breathe life into the MCU is just pivoting from Avengers to X-Men and Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And just starting fresh with those characters. Having the other ones kind of just show up from time to time, Spider-Man always kind of shows up everywhere. You know, so just do that. You know,
I would, I'd be cool with that, because there is the MCU has been focused mostly on the Avengers, but there is so much of the Marvel universe that is outside of that realm. The Fantastic Four are kind of their own thing. Spider-Man's always, like you said, he kind of shows up anywhere, but he's also kind of his own thing. And then the X-Men, I feel just the X-Men alone are enough to make up their own fictional universe without, because there's so many X-Men and there's so many interesting ideas in the X-Men comics, and so I am looking forward to seeing what comes of all this, and I want more X-Men, because I like X-Men a lot, and it's been rough the past few X-Men movies other than Logan. So MCU tangent over. Last thing that I wanted to talk about briefly is I built the Captain Rex Lego helmet, and it looks great. Here it is.
Yeah, but there's our boy. There he is.
He's beautiful. You can do the thing down.
Yeah, I love it. He's got a little visor thing.
Yep, great. It was super fun to build, and it looks great, and I'm glad that it's on my shelf now. It's next to BD1, and it makes me very happy.
That's where it belongs. Love it.
Yes. And we got a Rex-centric episode this week.
We did. Oh my gosh, this
is
very, very good episode with Rex.
Was there anything else you wanted to chat about before we move on to our main segment?
No, there's nothing new or upcoming in Star Wars, really.
Mm-hmm.
No unfinished business, so I think we just jump in.
All right.
Let's do it.
Well, this week, as I said, we were talking about the Clone Wars Season 2, Episodes 9 and 10, Grievous, Intrigue, and The Deserter. Sam, where does this take place in the Star Wars timeline?
21 BBY.
Whoa!
We're still 21 BBY.
Yep. Shocking!
Surprise, surprise. All right. So our first episode,
Episode 1, Grievous, Intrigue. For everything you gain, you lose something else, is the moral. All right. Here we go. Diabolical defeat. Though Republic victories outnumber their losses, the Jedi have been unable to stop Separatist advances in the Outer Rim. The ever-elusive General Grievous stays one step ahead of his opponents. With thousands of droid armies at his command, the Jedi can never predict where Grievous will strike next, until now. Here we go.
Here we go. All right.
Do you want me to read the... How do you want to do this going forward? Like, I feel like you always read the summaries, but like, do you want to keep reading the summaries in general, or do you want to like be like the reader is the one who reads the summary also? I don't mind either way. I just didn't know what...
It doesn't matter to me. Yeah. How about you did the Admiral Yularen, so I'll do this, and then we'll switch.
Okay.
For the next one.
Cool. Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Good.
All right.
Cool.
So, Grievous's destroyer boards Master Eth Koth's flagship, and Grievous enters the ship with his boarding party, which included commando droids. The attackers kill most of Clone Captain Locke's clone troopers, but Koth, after ordering his men to the escape pods, manages to defend himself against the commando droids and Grievous. Koth derides Grievous as a coward and murderer, to which Grievous retorts, "It is not murder to rid the galaxy of filth like Jedi." That's something a sane person says. Though Koth holds his own for a while, Grievous's Magna Guards soon join the battle, and Grievous ultimately subdues Koth.
Grievous does not fight fair. Not that
no,
like,
he doesn't.
I would expect him to, but he's like, I'm going to fight you one-on-one, but also with these 4 Magna Guards shocking you constantly.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's Grievous. Yeah, no. The way of the Sith and also their apprentices and friends is deception and cheating, and no one plays fair. There's no honor among thieves. Anyway, so...
Yeah, Grievous's ways are cheating and running away.
Yeah. Time to abandon sheep.
Yep.
All right, so the Jedi on Coruscant receive a holo-transmission from Grievous, which I just want to note that the holo-transmissions are always blue, except Grievous's was red. Did you notice that? Because he's dastardly. That's what he is.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm trying to think, like, there are times when, like, we see red holograms in the prequels, but I think it's, like, whenever we're looking, like, there's that scene when we can kind of see the Death Star plans in hologram form.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was red, so maybe it's like the Separatists' hologram tech is red or something. I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
I would need to go back and actually look at that to
yeah, it's just something I never noticed until it was just like Grievous just trying to be extra menacing. So
he's like, I'm going to change my color just to show you how cool and evil I am.
Yeah. All right. So, the Jedi on Coruscant receive a holo-transmission from Grievous, in which the General shows his victory over the Jedi by having one of his Magna Guards torture Koth. Grievous states that he does not care about the Jedi's politics, nor the Republic, concluding that he lives only to see them all die. Plo Koon and Clone Commander Wolf notice a coded message made by Koth's hand gestures, which is decoded by Obi-Wan, telling them that Grievous's ship is in the Seleucami system. Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, and A.D. Gallia. Am I saying that right? Gallia? Gallia. I'm going to say Gallia.
Probably.
Thus set out to rescue Eth Koth and capture Grievous. The ships under Kenobi's command, including the light cruiser Surrogator, 3 frigates and 3 cruisers, emerge from hyperspace when Grievous is preparing to land on Seleucami, just as Grievous expected. Grievous warns his crew that where there is Kenobi, there is also Skywalker. The Republic engages Grievous' fleet, and a space battle ensues. Kenobi hails Grievous, leading Grievous, surmising that Kenobi is here to bring him to justice as always. Grievous pulls Kenobi's cruiser in with a tractor beam, while Anakin, having received updated coordinates, comes out of hyperspace right along Grievous' destroyer, and he, Adi Gallia, Captain Rex, and a clone trooper squad break into the ship. This Anakin move with the ship.
Another harebrained scheme.
Yeah, so he jumps out of hyperspace, like, between the ships and, like, doesn't completely decelerate until, like, right before he, like, inverts the ship and, like, lands on the underbelly of Grievous' ship.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was very cool.
I love the shot of, like, of their perspective of, like, they come out of hyperspace and they're going really fast and there's just a bunch of ships very close to them. And he's like, all right, hold on.
Yeah.
It was just a cool, thrilling moment, definitely. I love a good harebrained scheme. A good Skywalker. And
we love it.
A scheme walker.
All right. So the Surrogator is then boarded by commando droids. Obi-Wan and Commander Cody fight commando droids first, then Kenobi fights the Magna Guards and eventually Grievous. Grievous tells Obi-Wan that he is aware of Skywalker's concurrent rescue mission, and finally Grievous and his droids overpower Kenobi. Anakin and Adi locate Koth, captured in a containment field, but Grievous' tactical droid, TV-94, was expecting them and summons commando droids. The tactical droid then sends electric waves through Koth, but the Jedi ultimately destroy all the droids present and release Koth. This little, like... it was just, like, a very, like, Three Stooges, but, like, action movie kind of sequence, where, like, this, like, strategy droid, the tactical droid, the TV-94, he had all the controls to torture and kill Eth Koth on his, like, wrist thing. And he says, "Don't move, don't take a step, or I'll kill the Jedi." And Anakin responds by just pulling him in with the Force and slicing off his arm. And then the rest of the battle just becomes the two Jedi and a couple clones fighting these commando droids, while this tactical droid with one arm kind of stumbles around trying to grab his arm with the remote on it, but then it keeps tripping or gets kicked by a droid, or it's just very, very silly. I loved it.
Yeah, and then the way it ends is great too, because he finally, like, grabs it, picks up the arm, and he's like, "Yes, I've got the arm," and then he tries to use his other arm to press the button, and he realizes he's only got one arm. And he's like, "Oh, whoops!" And then Anakin, like, destroys him, or somebody does.
Yeah, no, it was very satisfying.
It was a great moment.
Some
physical comedy there.
Yep. All right. So meanwhile, the fight between Kenobi and Grievous continues, in which Kenobi asks what Grievous gains besides power, a mutilated body, and his place as Dooku's errand boy. Grievous snarls that he's no errand boy, nor that he's in this war for Dooku's politics, as Grievous roars that he is now the leader of the most powerful droid army the galaxy's ever seen. Obi-Wan asks what he intends to gain from being a general of an army with no loyalty or spirit. Grievous answers that he hopes to gain a future where there are no more Jedi. Obi-Wan force pushes Grievous into the window and gives him a chance to surrender, but Grievous escapes.
I want to take a second here to be like, it occurred to me, like, that I don't really know, like, what is Grievous's, like, why does he have such a grudge against the Jedi? Like, because I don't think that's been explained in, like, any
it hasn't.
canon. I looked at his, I pulled up his Wikipedia page just now, and there's a little section about it, which I haven't read, so I'm just going to read it out loud right now.
Nice.
Let's see. A native of Kali, a planet within wild space, Shilal, which I guess is his original name, grew to become a fearsome warrior of his people and gained an aptitude for warfare. Eventually took the name Grievous. Grievous's potential was seen by the Sith Lords Darth Sidious, Darth Tyrannus, also known as Dooku, the Count of Sereno, as he led his people in a merciless war against the Yamri. Which, I'm not reading all of this, so I don't actually know what's going on here. Grievous led the Kaleesh forces with his ferocity and determination, brutally pushing the insect species from his world. However, the Galactic Republic and Jedi Order intervened in the conflict in assistance of the Yamri, leading to the Kaleesh's punishment and famine, resulting in Grievous developing an enduring grudge. Okay. So there is a reason.
There's a reason, yeah. It sounds like because the Jedi saw Grievous's, like, home world and home species, like, as the bad guys in a particular thing.
Mm-hmm.
They sided with the other team, which resulted in Grievous's homeworld, like, starving of famine, I guess.
Mm-hmm. This sort of sounds like, yeah.
I mean,
yeah, it's good to know
if the Jedi did that to me, I would probably... I would hate the Jedi if the Jedi did that to me.
Yeah.
So,
like,
I get it. Yeah, I don't blame it. Yeah. All right. All right, so Obi-Wan informs Anakin and Adi, the latter of whom goes to intercept him while Anakin carries Koth to his shuttle. Grievous, despite the two ships being attached still, gives orders to fire on Republic light cruisers' engines and heads for his own ship. Cody and what is left of his men try to hold Grievous, but the general subdues them. In the docking tube, Kenobi and Cody catch up to him, but Grievous escapes again, and Grievous arrives at his destroyer, but there, Adigalia engages him in a brief duel before the docking tube is torn open, creating a powerful suction. Grievous climbs aboard his ship using his metallic claws, and Gallia extends a cable to Cody and Kenobi, allowing them to get to safety. Anakin then picks up Obi-Wan, Adi, and Cody in his shuttle from the destroyer's hangar.
I want to real quick just want to mention, like, we haven't talked about it much in detail because it, as the summaries want to, it kind of skips over things. But like I feel like we just get a lot of great lightsaber fights in this episode. Lots of great lightsaber fighting. We got Obi-Wan versus Grievous. And we've got Anakin and Adi and versus all the commando droids and Magna Guards and stuff. And yeah, just I don't know. I just remember there wasn't one standout moment necessarily. It was just a lot of lightsabers flashing and people doing cool actiony stuff. And I was like, yeah, it's much appreciated. I always like I'm a sucker for a good flashy lightsaber battle.
Yep, this might be the most amount of lightsaber battles we've had so far in the Clone Wars. In one episode. In
terms of the most amount of screen time given to lightsaber battles in a single episode. Yeah, probably.
It's good. All right, so Grievous and his ship's infantry droids board a landing ship set for Seleucami, and the Republic light cruiser eventually explodes. Unfortunately, a collision with shrapnel causes the landing ship to lose control and to fall fast towards Seleucami. Obi-Wan then plans to descend onto Seleucami with Rex and Cody to look for Grievous while Anakin cleans up the space battle. When the rescue shuttle reaches the Resolute's hangar, Eth is grateful for the rescue despite saying that he would have given his life to bring Grievous to justice. Anakin, however, says that they at least live to fight another day. Adi then takes Koth to a medical frigate, and Obi-Wan prepares his forces for the search on Seleucami. End of episode 1 of 2.
That's the end credits music is what I'm playing for you.
Gotcha. It was I think it was either muted or Discord was tuning you out. So I just saw your mouth.
I saw your mouth. My singing as noise is what I did.
Yeah, I saw your mouth moving and you making awkward eye contact with the camera, and I was like, what's going on?
Excellent. You know what? Thanks, Discord. I appreciate
It's all right.
Yeah.
Audacity won't let us down. We'll hear it.
Yeah.
You'll hear it. I won't. We'll hear it.
We'll hear it eventually. Unfortunately for our audience. This is a fun episode, but I think the episode of this arc that is much more interesting and I think important in the grand scheme of things is the next one.
Correct.
Which is the Deserter.
Yep. So let's go ahead and jump on to that one. You ready?
All right.
Or do you want?
Sam, what's you say the moral and the I'm really learned, and then I'll do the summary.
Great. So this episode, which is season 2, episode 10, The Deserter. The moral is, it is the quest for honor that makes one honorable. How deep?
Nice.
Fugitive! Though the Republic has won many decisive battles against the Separatist army in the Outer Rim, the Jedi have failed to capture the elusive General Grievous. After specifically targeting members of the Jedi Council, a trap was set. Oh gosh. Stop jumping. The page is jumping again. Dang it. But following a fierce confrontation, the droid general managed to escape to the surface of the planet Seleucami. Now the chase is on as General Kenobi leads a squadron of clone troopers and closes in on his desperate target. That was frustrating. An ad showed up halfway through reading it, and the whole page jumped half a page.
I hate that.
It was the worst.
It's terrible. Yep. Hot on the trail of General Grievous, Obi-Wan Kenobi lands with his troops, Commander Cody and Captain Rex, on Seleucami. Grievous, having had to abandon his landing ship due to damage sustained during his escape, landed on the planet's surface in an escape pod, as did many of his battle droids. However, the radio transmitter on Grievous' pod has been knocked out of commission, and as a result, Grievous is forced to locate one of the other pods in order to send a message to the Separatist fleet before Kenobi and his forces find him. Grievous' droids find the General, a reek for him to ride, and some Eopes as pack animals. Grievous refuses to allow the battle droids to ride, forcing them to drain their power reserves, marching along with him.
This is so dumb. This is so dumb. It like this whole sequence is like Grievous is getting mad at the battle droids for like their running out of battery. I'm like, that's like getting mad at your car for running out of gas. Like, what are you doing?
What the heck, man?
Yeah. You should keep driving. I don't care.
Why don't you just go further, Camry?
Yeah, I don't care that you're on empty. Keep driving. Yeah.
Just listen to the song "Running on Empty," and it'll get you going. Running on empty. Okay. As Kenobi's forces scour the area, Rex informs him that the cruiser which landed them has returned to orbit just before the Jedi General spots the wreckage of Grievous' landing craft. Scouring the crash site for any clues, the clone troopers only find droids that are too destroyed to retrieve any intel from them, and Cody informs Kenobi that the ship's power intakes are still warm. Rex reports that the ship's landing compartment has been almost entirely destroyed. Kenobi orders Rex to take troopers Jesse, Hardcase, and Kix on patrol to search some nearby wetlands, while he, Cody, and Kreese, I think that's how he said it. Yeah. And
spelled Cries, though.
Yeah.
C-R-Y-S.
No, actually, he said Cries, actually. Yeah.
Oh, really?
He actually did say Cries. I remember that now. Yeah.
Why is he named Cries? I want to know.
I don't know. He, Cody, and Cries keep searching in the area. As Rex and his men leave, Cody remarks that the captain is a smart man, and Kenobi concurs, noting that he's always thinking on his feet. Thus begins our Rex-centric episode, which is always great.
I love it. Hold on, I'm trying to figure out why Cries is named Cries.
Yeah. Also, Cries is the blonde one. He's a blonde clone.
He's a blonde clone. He only appears in this episode.
Okay. Well,
yeah. Yep, Wikipedia, you failed me.
I don't think Wikipedia failed you. I think it was just...
You failed me for the last time.
You're dead to me, Wikipedia. How dare you not have information that doesn't exist? Okay. On patrol, Rex and company are riding speeder bikes through the wetlands when two surviving commando droids take aim with a sniper rifle, shooting Rex in the chest and knocking him off his bike. Jesse sends Kix, the medic, to look after Rex while he and Hardcase run down the commando droids, destroying them. Taking a look at the injured captain and removing his helmet, Kix calms Jesse to tell him he had better get back. Back at the crash site, the clone trooper finds an intact droid, and Kenobi orders it loaded onto an ATTE for inspection on the go. Analyzing the data, Cody reports that the droid had adjusted the descent of its pod to avoid collision with another one, and Cries tells Kenobi he can calculate the location of the other pod from the data. Kenobi tells Cody to inform the men that they've picked up their quarry's scent. In the wetlands, Kix tells Jesse that Rex's injuries are severe, but he can't know more without removing his armor. Wondering what they're going to do, Jesse notices some Eopes nearby and realizes that they are domesticated, indicating that there's likely a farm somewhere nearby, and decides they're going to find it. Meanwhile, Grievous becomes more and more frustrated as, one by one, his battle droid escorts lose the last of their power and keep dropping where they stand.
So funny.
Yeah.
So funny.
I love that. There's a moment in that scene when, like, one of the droids is like, well, if you had just let us ride on your thing with you, then we wouldn't be in this mess. And Grievous, like, grabs him, like, slashes him in half, and right before the battle droid gets slashed, he goes, oh, gosh! I love it. Okay. When Kix arrives at the farm, he's startled when the farmhouse door opens to reveal a Twi'lek woman who greets him by aiming a blaster rifle at him, causing him to raise his hands. Jesse, arriving moments later, manages to defuse the situation with the woman, telling her that all they want is a place to tend their injured captain for the night, as they already have a medic. The woman, ordering her two children back inside the house, comments that her husband is away, and tells the clones there are some benches back in the barn they can use. After nightfall, Rex wakes up as Kix is bandaging his wound and is quickly filled in on what happened. He's startled to realize he can't feel his left arm, and Kix tells him he has some nerve damage. Rex tries to order Kix to just patch him up so they can get back on patrol, but Kix refuses, stating that when it comes to the health of the men, he outranks everyone. The woman, who introduces herself as Sue, arrives with a plate of fruit, and Jesse thanks her, insisting that the food is enough. Suddenly, a ball comes rolling to the barn, stopping under the table Rex is lying atop. Sue's daughter, Shia. It's Shaeeah.
It's far too many vowels. Far too many vowels.
I'm gonna say Shia. Shia. Shania Twain. Shia.
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf. Follows the ball in, ignoring... Sue's daughter Shia follows the ball in, ignoring an admonition from her mother that she should have stayed in the house and claiming that the toy got away from her. Coming out from under the table, she sees Rex's face and stares at him for a moment before, to his confusion, remarking that he looks like her father. The other clones are confused as well, but Sue tells her daughter not to bother Rex, who, with a slight shake of the head, assumes she meant nothing by it. After the mother and daughter have left, Rex reluctantly orders his men to resume the search without him, putting Jesse in charge. Hardcase puts one of Rex's blaster pistols on the table next to him as he lies down to get some sleep. Elsewhere, Kenobi and his men locate a separatist escape pod but find no one there. Deducing that Grievous must be headed to another escape pod, Kenobi attempts to contact Rex and gets Jesse, who informs him of the captain's condition and that they found him shelter for the night. Kenobi orders Jesse and his patrol to swing around so they will meet up with his forces at the final escape pod. Later in the night, Rex is briefly woken up by an Eopie licking his face, forcing him to shoo it away. Not long afterwards, however, a man enters the barn by the side door, grabbing a farm implement as a weapon. The man slowly advances across the room. Rex, waking up again, slowly grabs his pistol and shuts his eyes again, waiting until the man gets close enough before sitting up and pointing the blaster at him, only for it to be smacked out of his hand. It turns out that the man is another clone, to Rex's shock, and he walks over to turn on a light, remarking that it seems the Clone Wars have finally made it all the way out to Seleucami. Rex accuses him of being a deserter, but he retorts that he's just a simple farmer, and, asked for his identification number, introduces himself as Cut LaQuain. He explains that he left the army because he didn't want to have to kill for a living, although Rex doesn't see it as Cut's choice to make, since he swore an oath to the Galactic Republic. Cut retorts that he swore an oath to his family, and asks if that still counts, or does Rex plan to turn him in. Just then, Sue and the kids arrive, and Shia and her younger brother Jack are happy to see their father, Jack presenting him with a drawing. Shia tells Cut that she had told Rex he looked just like him. Sue fills Cut in on why Rex is there, and Rex is forced to explain that he has a name as well, after Cut asks him what his ID number is. Cut invites Rex to dinner, and, uncomfortable, Rex turns him down, but is persuaded to change his mind when Shia and Jack insist otherwise, and Cut says they won't stop begging until he agrees. Over the meal, Cut and Rex have an argument, with Cut insisting that the clones are still individuals, and asking why it is that Rex has a name instead of just a number. Rex hesitantly suggests that maybe the army's leaders see it as a more efficient way of distinguishing between the clones, but Cut retorts that the Kaminoans likely don't see it that way, saying that names make them feel unique in an army where everyone looks and sounds the same, and calling out Rex when he denies ever having thought about it. Cut points out to Rex that just by being there, he must be thinking about what would happen if he chose the life he wanted, and Rex retorts that maybe by staying in the army, he is, since he can't imagine what kind of evil might fall in the galaxy if the Republic loses. Afterward, he brusquely asks if he's met with Cut's approval, and Cut says no, which prompts Shia to ask what exactly "to each his own" means, and her father tells her it means she can do whatever she wants with her life. Grievous manages to reach the remaining intact capsule and prepares to send a distress call. Informed by a droid already at the pod that there are life forms approaching from the east and west, Grievous orders his forces to prepare for battle. When Kenobi and his men catch up, a battle ensues. When a separatist shuttle arrives, the last ATTE is unable to take it down, and Kenobi engages Grievous in personal combat to prevent him from leaving. However, Grievous hooks himself to the shuttle by a grappling cable and manages to escape yet again, leaving Kenobi disappointed. Which, by the way, this moment of, it was just so funny to be seeing, Grievous being, carried off into the air, cackling and, waving his lightsaber, wildly. Just, it was very silly.
It was very silly.
Moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the meantime, Rex and LaQuain play Dejaric, in which Rex asks why LaQuain left the army. LaQuain tells how, after the first battle of Geonosis, his transport was shot down and his brothers on board were slaughtered. Knowing that there was nothing to be done, Cut ran away, an experience which still haunts him. While playing outside, Shia and Jack stumble upon a crashed separatist escape pod in one of their fields and accidentally activate a platoon of damaged but still functional commando droids inside. The droids promptly attack the farm, and LaQuain prepares to defend his family. Rex offers his help, and although the droids manage to invade the farmhouse, the two clones put up a brave fight and destroy them all, with LaQuain saving Rex's life. The next morning, Rex prepares to leave on an EOP. Although it would be his duty to report Although it would be his duty to report LeQuain as a deserter, he respects his clone brother's wish for a peaceful life greatly enough to conveniently forget about the whole incident. He refuses LeQuain's invitation to stay, parting with the words, "This is your home, Cut. My family is elsewhere." The end.
Gosh, such a good episode.
Yeah, so it's such a, like, yeah, there's not a lot to talk about, like, in mid-summary, but just, like, in,
Right.
like, the, yeah, I think it shows a few things. One is it gives us some more insight into, like, the diversity of the experience of clones and kind of their individuality, which is a theme that we've definitely, like, touched upon a lot in the Clone Wars already, but, like,
Yeah.
the idea of a clone choosing to live a life other than the one that was, like, prescribed to him, that was, like, laid out for him.
Yeah.
Is definitely an interesting one. I thought it was cool to just, like, to see, like, you know, these two kind of, you know, obviously very similar but also very different people in Rex and Cut, like, kind of get into it a little bit and kind of come to an understanding. I feel like especially this is kind of the character growth moment for Rex, because I feel like if you look at Rex in, like, you know, season 6, it's like, you know, Rex would have responded much differently to this situation, you know, then versus now, because I feel like the further on in the Clone Wars that they get, the more the clones in general, I think, begin to understand, like, the importance of their individuality and the things that they value, you know? And
yeah, the clones become more and more human as the series goes on.
Yeah,
like they become more, like, aware and more fully integrated with their own individuality and humanity.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a better way to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just it was cool to see, like this is early enough in the Clone Wars to where Rex is still like, well, we have names because I don't know, like, he hasn't thought about it yet. Whereas like later on, he very clearly has, like, a solid understanding and, like, belief in, like, yeah, no, clones are individuals with like, you know, rights and souls and you know, and in this context, he's still, like, at this point in the war, he's still kind of thinking about, like, what is his duty to, you know, the army as a whole and to the war effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was cool to kind of just see this moment where, like, obviously Rex learned something and was able to kind of come to a new understanding about what it means to be a clone and the kind of the choices that we have and the freedoms that, you know, that we can choose to take advantage of or not.
Yeah.
You know? And I also like the fact that they came to an understanding by the end of it, and also Rex was still like, no, my family is, like, I belong in this war. I belong with, you know, with my fellow men, and that's where I feel called to be. But, like, he still, like, acknowledges the, like, acknowledges that, like, Cut's way of doing things is also valid, basically.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, which Rex at the beginning of the episode definitely would not have done that. But, like,
yeah,
I think it was, like, probably a big character moment for Rex to, like, just be around somebody who had the same upbringing, like, literally the same upbringing as him, but, like, had just, like, matured and on their own in a much different way than he had. And I think that was a very good experience for him to have, to, like, encounter that. And, like, I don't know, I think it grounds Rex a lot in just kind of, like, his humanity and just, I don't know. Yeah, I'm rambling, but it's
agreed. Yeah. All 100% agreed. Yeah. Yeah, I think for me, Cut, like, even though he only, like, for a long time he only appeared in this episode, he does eventually come back in a couple episodes of The Bad Batch. Post Order 66, which is cool that we got him back. But I feel like I like the fact that that he came back because he's such an interesting, like, unique. I love seeing stories about, like, unique clones with interesting stories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, like, Cut and, you know, the Bad Batch in general also, but just, you know, all the different, like, just the, like I said, the diversity of the clone army, and just, like, I don't know, I feel like just this episode is a nice, like, it's a gem of an episode, you know, it's an important episode.
It is.
It's got a really good, solid character that I'm glad we got to, like, revisit later, because he's, like, I'm immediately endeared to this guy, you know. This is a family man farmer who's, like, you know, he's not a soldier anymore, he's a deserter, but he's, like, still has the honor of a soldier and still has, like, the the strength and the determination to like defend what matters to him, which in this case is family. He's choosing a different way of living out the same principles, basically.
Right. He's still very much a good man, still very much a good person, but like living a very different life than the rest of his peers. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Cut the Queen. Definitely a notable clone and one of my favorites.
Great name.
Yes, also a great name. Agreed. Cut LaQuain.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was a fun couple of episodes. Let's see. Sam, what was your favorite part of these 2 episodes?
I think my favorite part of the first episode was the exchange that Obi-Wan and Grievous had about, like, you're just leading an army of robots. Like, that doesn't mean anything. That was kind of cool. That's a perspective I'd never, like, that like, hadn't exactly crossed my mind. I'm like, oh, yeah. Like, you have a lot of power, but it's just because, like, you literally have the most amount of guns. Like, and, like, robots to carry them.
Actually, like, I have the quote from that scene because it's at the top of Grievous's Wikipedia page.
Good.
Yeah, he says, "I'm no errand boy, and I am not in this war for Dooku's politics. I am the leader of the most powerful droid army the galaxy has ever seen." Then Obi-Wan says, "An army with no loyalty, no spirit, just programming. What have you to show for all your power? What have you to gain?" And the Grievous responds, "The future, a future where there are no Jedi." So, yeah, no, just a very, like, it's cool to see, like, the continuing of Grievous and Obi-Wan's kind of rivalry, and, but also to get an idea a little more of, like, it's that one, like, short exchange is very, like, distilled down, like, this is what Grievous is about, and this is what makes him different from, like, the way that, like, for example, Obi-Wan sees things.
Right. You know, that got me thinking, do you think that Grievous knew about Order 66? Because, like, all he wanted was the downfall of the Jedi.
See, I feel like
he wouldn't have known that it was called Order 66. He might have just, like, executed himself if he knew it. But, like, if he knew honestly, of the plan.
I don't think he knew because, like you said, his like ultimate goal is to rid the world of all the Jedi. And if that was the case, and he knew about Order 66, then why would he be, like, going around trying to kill Jedi? Why would he just, like, be like, you know, I know it's going to happen eventually.
Yeah, try to figure out the code word.
Yeah, or something like it. Yeah.
Try to figure out how to Winter Soldier all the clones. Like,
Plus, I don't think there's any reason why he would necessarily need to know about Order 66. Like,
yeah, that makes sense.
You know, I don't know, like, who does know about Order 66? But I mean, obviously, like, a bunch of the Kaminoans know, and Palpatine obviously knows.
I think that's it. Maybe Dooku.
Yeah, maybe Dooku knew. I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah,
because, well, like, I think the clone army, was it commissioned before Dooku became a Sith or after? I think after.
I think shortly after. It was commissioned by Jedi Master Sifo DS.
I'm aware of that.
Which is just a typo for Sido DS. Because it's just supposed to be Sidious. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
But Sifo DS is a real...
They retconned a typo to become a different Jedi. But, like, when George Lucas wrote it, he meant to write Sido DS, but, like, he typoed it to Sifo DS, and they kept it in the script, and, like, because I think it was just supposed to be Sidious did it.
Yeah, that's amazing though. That makes sense that would have been just like, it's just a cover, but I like, which I kind of like the fact that they kept that in, because it creates a whole other layer of, like, it wasn't just like Palpatine doing it. There was, like, a whole other story there that is kind of there for exploring, which I think makes it a little more interesting.
For sure.
It makes it a little less, like, understandable in the movie itself of, like, who's Master Sifo Dyas, and then we never learn, until the
you literally like, never. I mean, do we learn in the Clone Wars who Sifo Dyas is?
Well, we see like a Force vision of him or something at some point. I don't know if because he's dead.
Right.
By the time we, like, find him,
he dies, like, during or before Phantom Menace. Which means he would have been... Which means the clone... Yeah, Yeah, so that definitely Dooku hadn't been a Sith at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Because during the events of Episode 1, as we saw in Tales of the Jedi, Dooku is still a Jedi. So, like... Yeah. Because it's at some point, it's like shortly after Episode 1, like immediately after Episode 1, is when Dooku turns to the dark side.
Yeah.
But before Episode 1...
This is when he's mad about Qui-Gon dying.
He's mad about Qui-Gon dying. Yeah.
Sifo Dyas's page says, Sifo Dyas was a human male Jedi Master who commissioned the Kaminoans' creation of the Grand Army of the Republic over a decade before the Clone Wars. A Jedi from the Cassandran world, Sifo Dyas was gifted with the power of foresight, and he earned a seat on the Jedi High Council prior to the invasion of Naboo. When he foresaw a coming war that would ravage the galaxy, he believed the Galactic Republic would require an army if it were to prevail. Yet his peers in the Jedi Council rejected his notions, leading to his removal from the Council. Nevertheless, he pursued his ideas in secret and contacted the Kaminoan cloners, purporting to have the authorization of the Council and the Galactic Senate to raise an army for the Republic. In doing so, he unknowingly entered the crosshairs of the Sith, who set out to assume control of his cloning project. So that's interesting that, like, the creation of the clone army was actually just the idea of a Jedi. It wasn't, like, initially, like, Palpatine's idea. He was like, oh, I can do something with this.
Yeah. I never realized that. That is interesting. And it's also kind of like, oh, man, I need a minute to process this. I didn't realize
everything's changed in my brain.
It actually has. Like, how
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I definitely thought it was Palpatine's idea. Because of that, like, because of the typo story, which is, it's a true story.
Oh, yeah, I get that. But, so in one version of the canon, like, that would have been the story, but instead we get this, like, this other thing, which I think is kind of interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I like this better, but it kind of makes Sifo Dyas a similar character to Dooku, except less, like he didn't go full Sith, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he might have... I'm wondering if, like, Palpatine caught wind, because the Jedi Council never caught wind until Kenobi found it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if Palpatine heard before any of this happened, and then, like, I don't know, like, killed off Sifo Dyas, and then,
so here's what it says on Wikipedia.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just guessing.
Yeah. Around the time of the invasion of Naboo, Supreme Chancellor Finis Valorum requested Sifo Dyas conduct clandestine negotiations with the Pike Syndicate, and he headed for Obadiah with Valorum's personal aide, Silman. However, the Sith Lord Darth Tyrannus, who was Sifo Dyas' friend and former Jedi Master Dooku, betrayed him by hiring the Pikes to target Sifo Dyas' T6 shuttle. He was driving the Galactic Camry!
Oh no!
The Pikes shot down his ship over the Obadiah moon. Sifo Dyas died in the resulting crash, but Silman survived and was taken prisoner by the Pikes. Consequently, Tyrannus and his Sith Master Darth Sidious funded Sifo Dyas' army of clone troopers, hired the bounty hunter Jango Fett to serve as a genetic template, instructed the Kaminoan cloners to add Order 66 to the clones' behavioral modification chips, which Sifo Dyas originally intended to be a safeguard against any treacherous orders given to clones, and manipulated the Jedi Order into taking command of the army when the Clone Wars erupted. It was not until years later that the Jedi began to unravel the Sith's conspiracy and unearthed the details of Sifo Dyas' demise. That's interesting, like how much of this was like not Palpatine's plan. He was just like, I could use this.
Yeah.
Like the inhibitor chips were like not the inhibitor chips were like actually it was like just the ostensible reason that they said was actually the original reason, but then they were hijacked for Order 66 purposes.
Right. It was just a kill switch for the clones, which was just like put them to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like. But what I was gonna say, I had another revelation that I wanted to. Oh gosh, it's gone. I forgot it. No,
it's a lot. Sifo Dyas, poor guy.
Yeah. Oh wait, yeah. Who do we think was like the original like template for the clones? Because, or maybe they just hadn't started working yet.
I think maybe they just hadn't started yet. That would be my guess. That'd be an interesting story if there was like an original one, and then the Sith were like, actually, you can use this guy instead. Like, I don't know.
Who do we think it was?
And I wonder why they chose like. Yeah, that would be an interesting story too. Like, I don't know if that's a story that exists already about like why did they choose Jango Fett, and like was there particular purpose behind that. Maybe just because, like, I don't know, they wanted somebody who would be, like, a good template for a soldier, but also would, like, keep it on the down low and, like, not tell anybody about this own army that was in production, you know?
Yeah.
So
somebody
probably...
could be paid off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and but also, like, it makes sense that Jango Fett was the template for the clones, just because at that point in time he was the most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy. Mm-hmm. So he was, like, the best, like, basically the best fighter in the galaxy. So it makes sense.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
All right.
Dude, I could talk about this for forever. Did you say what your favorite part of the episode was?
I did not. I think my favorite I think my favorite part of these episodes was the scene in the farmhouse when when Rex and Cut are, like, fighting off all of the commando droids, like, at night, and it's like, you know, he's got a sniper rifle and a blaster, and then Rex is upstairs, like, being the last line of defense, and it's just it's a cool, like almost horror movie, like, action sequence.
Yeah.
And it was just, you know, a cool moment of teamwork and of, like, you know, Rex getting to see, like, Cut put actions to his words about, like, you know, my duty is to my family, you know.
Yeah.
So, cool sequence and also a meaningful sequence.
It was really cool. Yeah, I felt like it reminded me of some movie, like that scene.
Mm-hmm. There's definitely, like, something like in a farmhouse with, like, a bunch of, like, monsters coming at you or something. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
like, I know this isn't it, but, like, I mean, like, it maybe kind of felt like The Walking Dead a little bit. Like, it kind of felt zombie movie-ish. Just these, like...
Oh, it does totally feel zombie. Like, like, all the zombies are coming in through the, like, you gotta fight off the zombies.
Yeah.
There's a scene in Resident Evil 4 that's very much like that, where you have to, like, hold down, like, a cabin, basically, and there's zombies coming from everywhere, and it's basically like this sequence, but, like, with zombies.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I felt like that, and also, it, like, I don't know why it reminded me of A Quiet Place, but it did. I can't put my finger on it.
I have not seen A Quiet Place, so I
it's very good. Very good.
I've heard it's good. I just haven't. Yeah.
There's a lot of... I think it's because there's a scene in a cornfield. That's what... Yeah.
It's like Interstellar, you know. It's
no, but
no, I get what you mean.
There's a scene in a cornfield where they're, like, they make a noise and, like, the monster hears them in the cornfield, and, like, there's, like, a chase through a cornfield kind of thing.
Gotcha.
So similar kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. MVP. I feel like there's only one clear answer for this.
Grievous. Oh. Cut LaQuaine!
I was gonna say Cut LaQuaine.
Cut LaQuaine, for sure.
Mr. Cut LaQuaine. Definitely, I mean, like, he'll be back eventually, so maybe he'll get MVP again, but, like, regardless, I think he deserves it, because I don't know.
I agree.
He taught us a lesson, and he's a cool guy, and he's a good dad, and he's a farmer, and he fights using farming implements like Link does.
He does! Yes!
Yeah. So that's always excellent. Let's see. Stats. Main character kills, lost limbs, and Wilhelm screams. I don't think we had any main character kills. Lost limbs. I guess the droid lose. Again, we're not counting droids, but it was. Yeah. There was that great sequence about.
Yeah.
No, because I mean, we have to count every time Grievous loses a hand, and that's like a dozen times or something. But yeah, and then Wilhelm screams. I did not hear one. More Star Wars is better Star Wars. How does this episode make... Yeah, we kind of already talked about that.
We did. The humanizing of the clones further, and, like,
Yeah. Cut, and yes, definitely. Well, all right. This was a great episode. Great couple of episodes, and I love... Yeah, The Deserter is one of my favorite episodes, I think. It's especially of, like, early Clone Wars. It's
one of the most memorable. Like, it definitely feels like... It's a different tone and quality than, like, other episodes. Like, because there are other ones that are just, like... They're just fun. Like, fun shoot-'em-up episodes where you're just seeing some cool stuff, and it doesn't really do much to advance the plot of the Clone Wars, but, like, it's just a good old shoot-'em-up kind of thing, and a good excuse for, like, fun voice actors to do fun things. But, yeah, no, this one definitely, like, it gets into the heart and soul of Star Wars and the Clone Wars and who the clones are, and, yeah, it's really good.
And it's a cool, like, fun, memorable concept, too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you get immediately what it's about when it's like, Rex finds a deserter, and while he's, like, healing from an injury, and there's, what that leads to. It's just,
Yeah.
it's a cool premise, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I think we're gonna wrap up our episode right there for today.
Yeah,
right?
That's good.
If anybody would like to leave a voicemail, again, our number is 512-850-6653. Feel free to call that, or if you're friends with Sam on Instagram, maybe he'll post a thing and you can ask questions there or whatever at some point.
Or if you're listening to this, you probably know how to get a hold of us. So just get a hold of us.
Yeah. Just talk. Just talk to us.
We're people.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, there's a new T-shirt available on our merch site. Which it just says, Sam, you have this one.
I do. Yeah. Like, which one?
It's just a T-shirt that says "I like Star Wars a normal amount" on it.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite T-shirt.
This is blatantly like, I mean, it's a joke that I stole, so it's not like I don't feel bad about it or anything, but it's like.
Great artist steal, Jack. Great artist steal. Thanks, Mom.
And we're not making money off of this, so whatever. There was a T-shirt that I saw once that just says "I like video games a normal amount," and I was like, I need that shirt. Could never find it. Like I think you can get it online somewhere, but like I just haven't gotten it. But I was like, oh, we should do that, but with Star Wars, and so
it's a good one.
So anyway,
yep.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me, Sam. Thank you for joining us, audience.
Yeah.
Join us next time when we'll be talking about one episode, The Clone Wars Season 2, Episode 11, Lightsaber Lost.
Just one? Oh, man.
This lightsaber is your life. Anakin, don't lose it. You fool.
You fool.
All right. Well, it's been a good time. It's been good.
Yep. I love you.
Love you. All right, bye, everybody. Have a good day. May the Force be with you.
Bye now.
Bye.
All right, cut the chatter. Roger, Roger.